All right guys, so today I'm gonna go over my brand new dynamic warm-up for sport performance. Let's get into it. The first thing that we're gonna do is what's called a perfect stretch, or the world's greatest stretch. When we go into the perfect stretch, I'm gonna go ahead and change a little bit of it, add on to it, but it's the biggest bang for our buck. The goal is to make sure that we get as much of that warm-up in as possible in a timely manner. So it's going to increase their coordination, their core control, their body awareness. So we're standing tall, locking everything in. Then from here, I'm gonna externally rotate my hip. I'm gonna drive it up, big hip circle. Then when I get to here, I'm gonna grab the knee. When I grab the knee, I'm gonna pull into a passive stretch, flex the ankle. Then from there, I'm gonna stabilize my body, take my hands off of the knee, working on active range of motion. So here, wanna stabilize and hold. We don't wanna see any lag, you don't wanna see any drop of the motion, so we're gonna pull into a passive stretch, then hold into an active stretch. All the while, I'm squeezing the glute on the down leg, make sure I'm maintaining balance with my foot. I'm gonna go ahead and kick straight out into a lunge. Boom. From here, I'm gonna actively drive the knee over the toe while I keep my heel on the ground. The backside leg, we're gonna squeeze the glute and drive the adductors together, so we're pulling in tight. From there, I'm gonna go ahead and draw my leg back. So an adductor draw back in this position. So I'm pulling the leg back, pulling the hip into position, and then I'm gonna rotate using the obliques as I go to draw back with the adductors and try to tie in the obliques to the adductors. As I'm rotating, I'm looking straight ahead. I'm not turning my head at all. I'm not letting this knee kick out. So from here, activating the oblique sling, then I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna get a hamstring stretch, so I'm gonna kick the hip up, pull the toes to the top of the shoe. Right from there. Come back into position, come tall. Then from here, I'm gonna go right into an RDL. Hold position, single leg. Then back up to position. There's a lot of things going on, but like I said, you're maximizing your time. So one more time, we're gonna go through it. Other side, stay tall. You're gonna rotate the hip. So we're reaching up, you got the external rotation, we're gonna circle through. As I circle through, I'm gonna grab with my hands. Boom, hold position. Now I have stability, control, flex the ankle, hand off, hold position. Big step out. Squeeze the glute on the backside leg. Drive the knee over the toe, keeping the heel on the ground. So now we're getting a stretch in the hip flexor. We're stabilizing the knee using VMO, using the glute med on the other side. Adductors on too as well. Pull back, use the adductors, rotate through, obliques. Hold position, come back down, hands on the ground, kick the hip up, pull the toes to the top of the shoe. Hamstring stretch. From there, I'm gonna go back into position. I'm gonna shift my weight more forward, hold position, single leg RDL, and then back into the original position. So now that we did the perfect stretch with the add-ons, we're gonna go to the floor and still work on contractions of the posterior chain, working through ranges of motion and stabilizing the body. Next thing that we're gonna do is what's called a single leg glute bridge into a leg whip. So it's gonna start off lying on the ground on your back. You're gonna pull your knee into your chest, making sure your knee's in line with your hip. You're not falling out of place. Big toe pressure on the down leg. We're gonna have 3 points of contact, big toe, little toe, and heel. From here, I'm gonna pull the knee into the chest, head is down. I'm gonna drive up into hip extension. I'm gonna let go and maintain position and drive my arms into the ground. Then I'm going to extend the leg as far as I can, getting a hamstring stretch, flex the toes, and then we're going out to the side. The leg whip. Back in, pull the knee in, grab, back down. Switch to the other side. Flex, drive up, let off, hold, extend, out, back up, in, hold position, pull, back down. So we did the hips, we did the lower body, now we're gonna work our way up to the upper body. First one we're gonna do is work on T-spine mobility and rotation. So this is called a book opener. You're gonna take a roller or a block or something that you can maintain your position using a tactile cue. So this is gonna help us maintain our position and get some disassociation from the upper back to everything else. Leg down on the bottom is gonna be straight. Top leg is gonna be on top of the roller here. Arm on the bottom, palm is gonna be up. You're gonna go ahead and clasp them together. From here, you can do two routes, right? We can go the clockwise, so you're going big circle, or you can open the book. Main thing here, you want to inhale before you go to rotate, and then exhale on the rotation. So we're going to inhale, and then exhale, follow the hand. with the eyes. And back around, big rotation. Again. And we'll open the book. All right, so we did T-spine rotation. Now we're gonna work on shoulder rotation, working on controlled articular rotations of the shoulder capsule. So we're gonna do a basic prone lying or face down YWTs. What you're basically gonna do is go into a Y position in the arms, W position, like you're pulling, like doing a lat pull down, and then T it out with a thumbs up. Working through flexion, external rotation, and then opening up. Also activating the muscles back there, so like rear delts, rhomboids, traps. Maintain position, thumbs are up. We got the Y. W, T, back all the way up, W, T. So now we're gonna move on to the dive bomber or Hindu push-ups. Goal here, drive the head through the shoulders, all right? And then we also wanna make sure that we're maintaining our position. So shoulder stability, a little bit of shoulder flexibility, and then core stability too as well. Hands are gonna be in a push-up position right underneath the shoulder blades. I like to bring my feet about 24 inches apart. I'm gonna start off in a high pike position, head goes through. Like I said, the arms and the shoulders, drop the elbows, feet underneath, hips go down, head goes up, extend the elbows, then reverse the process. Elbows down, kick the butt back up, head goes through. All right, the next one we're gonna do is work on core strengthening, stability, and coordination. We're gonna go into a bear crawl position. So the first thing that you want to make sure that you're doing is you're in a good position, right? As you go to step, you wanna make sure that your hips are not, swaying side to side. There's not a whole lot of body language going on. You should be able to keep a glass of water on your back as you go to step through this distance. Depending on, your strength level, you want to do about 5, maybe 10 yards. Anything more than that, now we're working into actual conditioning of the exercise where we're just trying to fire things up. So it doesn't have to be long, but we want to make sure that we're increasing the contractibility of the muscles and we're working on coordination, stiffness, stability, all of that. So hands on the ground, right underneath the shoulder blades, knees off the ground. And then all you're gonna do is step, small steps, opposite arm, opposite leg. So we'll lock in, opposite arm, opposite leg. Notice my hips aren't shifting, my knees aren't coming out like this. I'm not driving my hip down. My hands aren't getting too far ahead of me. I'm staying over my hands. I'm stepping, controlling the motion. Arms aren't out here, my butt's not up. I'm staying low to the ground, hips are low, and I'm stepping opposite arm, opposite leg. The last thing that we're gonna do still requires some core strength, some rotational strength, and also some shoulder stability. It's a controlled sit out. Now, if you're a wrestler, you know what this means. You do jiu-jitsu, you know what this means. We're gonna work on that rotation. We're gonna slow it down for stability purposes. Hands on the ground, knees off the ground. You're gonna rotate through. As you rotate, you're gonna drive your shoulder away from your ear. Foot feeds through, locking in. You're gonna touch the big toe, then bring it back to the other side. Rotate, shoulder away from the ear, touch the big toe, back around. Boom. So there you go, dynamic warm up for sport performance. Now, right after this, you obviously are gonna go into your more sport specific movement patterns or into the weight room work. So try it out, let me know how it goes. Make sure that every one of these, you wanna do at least 2 to 3 repetitions through, making sure you're doing them diligently, you're paying attention to your movement quality, and you're contracting the muscles that are appropriate for that movement. Make sure you subscribe, hit the notification, hit the like button. See you again next time, peace.